developing, a shower round, and a cooler ocean breeze, the high 70 to 74. Friday, a shower in the area, some sunny breaks, a high of 74. For WATD, I'm meteorologist Rob Gilman.
70 degrees in Marshfield at the weather station WATD. I'm Lenny Rowe, WATD News Times 612. Now it's time for Talk
George,
Real
can you
Estate
hear me?
with Sharon McNamara right here on 95.9 WATD.
George? Test. George, can you hear me?
With Sharon McNamara, sponsored
Yep, I can hear you.
by Boston
All right,
Connect.
perfect. So
Real
everything
Estate
seems to be working great.
Services.
Same thing on my end.
Hi, I'm Sharon McNamara, and you are listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable. Let me share a little bit about my background before we get started. I am the broker-owner of Boston Connect Real Estate, a
70 to
boutique
74.
real estate firm that
Friday,
is home to
shower in
over
the area,
30 real
sunny
estate
breaks,
sales and
high
marketing consultants who service home buyers and home sellers throughout Boston, the South Shore, the South Coast, and Cape Cod. Our firm takes pride in assisting our clients in the next chapter of their lives by taking a holistic approach to their real estate endeavors. We believe that every move should be a moving experience. Every week, my real estate team member, Mary Baker, and I, along with the director of Boston Connect Real Estate, Melissa Wallace, provide you with our
What's
unique
up?
marketing
Okay,
approach to
perfect. I
selling
was just
homes
hearing
and share with you
so
our
just wanted to make
expertise
sure.
in navigating the
Yep,
home.
we're about
We like to mix it up sometimes.
2
So
minutes.
not only will you hear
Oh, no,
our
sorry, 40 seconds left.
topics, but you will hear the expert thoughts and opinions of some of our real estate agents at Boston Connect Real Estate and the preferred professionals that we trust. Be part of our roundtable. If you have any questions during the show, please call 781-837-4900. We'd love to talk real estate. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and wherever you listen to podcasts.
20 seconds till
Talk Real
showtime.
Estate Roundtable. If you would like a one-on-one consultation with me and my team or one of the dedicated agents at Boston Connect Real Estate to discuss your real estate needs, you can connect with
10
us
seconds.
at bostonconnect.com or 781-826-8000. Now, sit back, relax, take good notes, and let's talk real estate.
And hello to all our South Shore neighbors. You are listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable, hosted by Sharon McNamara
Mary Baker.
and Melissa Wallace, and sponsored by Boston Connect Real Estate.
Absolutely. And hello to all of our WATD listeners. We have George, who's helping us out back at the studio. Hello, George.
Me and George are first time.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
I made George nervous. He decided he
Yeah.
didn't want to come on because I was here.
Yeah, George, do you like prefer that we don't get you sort of included in our little chats, but we'd like to do that. We'd like to include you. So I hope you don't mind.
Oh, I don't mind.
Okay, great. We won't ask him any trick questions for sure then. But for all of our WATD listeners, tonight we're going to be discussing, should I list my house now in the fall or should I wait until the spring? And I did three CMAs today. Actually, one was, a listing that we have that's coming on and we're trying to decide when is the appropriate time to list that one. So there's different ways of thinking about it. So I guess, an attorney response would be, it depends. But since we're not attorneys, we're going to sort of hash it all out and make.
Are we? Because I think my default response is going to be it depends.
It depends.
No
It really
kidding.
does, because everybody's situation is so different. But if you have any questions for us, I know that we received an email this week from one of our listeners and said, he loves listening to our show every week, but he isn't one that would like to call in. So hello to you. But he said that one of his favorite shows was the one that we were like, we will never post this on our podcast. He's like, it was the most hilarious show that he has ever listened to.
We're real people too, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So you want to come a little closer to me? We're on Facebook Live. So if you can, if you have any questions for us, George is in the studio, 781-837-4900. That's how you can get in touch with him and he'll get in touch with us. So any questions you might have about real estate tonight, again, our topic is, should you list your house now or should you wait until the spring? But if you have any other questions for us, we're happy to answer any of those questions for you as well. We're also on Facebook Live, so you can go to Sharon Costa McNamara, that in front of me, and you'll be able to watch us there, or you can go to some of the other sites. You want to let everybody know where they can find us?
Yeah, you can watch us at Boston Connect Real Estate. Sorry, my throat
Oh,
is like
no.
cracking. I'm just tired.
I was going to say, no, keep going.
Okay. Boston Connect Real Estate, McNamara Broker Team. If you're a member of any of the local Connect pages, Pembroke Connect, Hanover Connect, all those fun things, you can watch us live there. So talk to us. through there. Tell me how your week's been so far. It's only Tuesday, but it feels like Friday.
It does. If anybody does follow us on the McNamara Broker Team page, they'll see that we had a little girls' weekend. The
Yeah.
3 of us and Captain Mark.
Everyone was so happy for us.
we did. We had a great time. We just took some time away for some R&R, and that's why Melissa's voice might be a little hoarse today.
Yeah, I feel like I had such a great few days off and really enjoyed myself. It's a little fun in the sun. And now I've just been like nonstop. I'm like, okay, is it time to sleep yet? I'm very tired. But yeah, we had an amazing time. So thank you so much, Sharon and Captain Mark. I loved calling him Captain Mark in public because everybody just was like, oh,
Hey, Cap. Hey,
Hey,
Cap.
Captain.
And Mark and I did our Benifer pose.
Oh, I love
on the
that.
bow
I
of the
love
boat. Yeah.
that.
What would our Benifer name be? I think I liked Jess Page. She's a full-time real estate agent here at Boston Connect Real Estate. She's wonderful, wonderful. She came up with Shark.
Yeah.
Yeah. I came up with Marsha.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know why you're laughing so hard.
Marsha,
I said
Marsha.
shark when we were on the boat.
I do remember you saying that. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
funny.
it was a good one. We also have in-house with us tonight. We have Kristen Howlett, who is a full-time real estate agent here at Boston Connect Real Estate.
We'll try
She
and get her
is,
on.
yeah, she's in the other room right now, and she has a new listing coming on. So if she wants to take a couple minutes at some point during our show to tell us a little bit more about that, we'd love to hear from her. But she is busy right now. So, anyways, that's my story with Kristen Howlett. She's a
Yeah.
wonderful agent. So if you are looking for one, look no further.
Look no further than Kristen Howlett.
We have all great agents here.
We do.
Yeah.
We're all going to be getting together tomorrow. Either they're coming into the office or via Zoom. We're having our office meeting. We're picking those back up after the summer. So we have lots to talk about because we're going to be talking about this crazy market, what's going on. It's still crazy. I know we did a show a couple weeks ago about, is it slowing down? Is it not? So you have to go and listen to that at talkrealestateroundtable.com.
We have some people we're watching Facebook instead of Zoom on our big screen here.
Okay, let's see if I can read this. Nate Carmen says, well, I would say now, but that is just me. I'm in the same position. I am concerned about a decline.
We're gonna get chatting
Yeah,
about that. That's
we'll
for
get
sure.
chatting about
That's what we're going
that.
to talk about. We have like the download. We know we have the predictions already. Yeah, Mary's like, we do.
I'm like, did
I've been
room
both
in there?
predicting for the past month and a half.
I think we'll just jump right into it. So I think that the most important part, before you decide is it now or later, is decide what's the reasoning to sell. So is it because of the market? Is it, a lifestyle change? Do you want to just take advantage of, what's sort of happening right now? So do one of you want to sort of take the reins in that? So how would you go about telling your clients to decide whether or not they're going to sell now or later? What are the factors?
You want to discuss it or you want me to? So, I mean, like I said to certain people, is if you have the time to wait, you have someplace else to go, you know what I mean? Because we're still in that same predicament. I mean, if you have someplace to go, then potentially maybe you should go, because that's the problem. If you don't have any place to go, where are you going to go? Because we still have low inventory. So that isn't changing at all. So this really works well for people who have someplace else that they can be or they can go. I don't know that I would recommend to somebody to put their house on the market, which we started a couple of weeks ago talking about, Mary, about that topic of, what came first? Do you put your house on the market first or do you sell it? You know what I mean? Like, what do you do? Or do you find a house first? So if you put your house on the market, it is going to sell. We still have very, very low inventory. So if you don't have someplace to go, that's something to really consider. If you have the option to rent, that's great, but there aren't a ton of rentals out there either.
No, there
So
aren't.
it's something you have to be concerned about. So again, it comes down to, I guess, it depends what's best for you. But I mean, and then there's the part where there are people who have to move regardless. Either they're relocating or they are, there's death, divorce, disability that we always talk about. So people are still selling their homes because of those. So they don't really have a choice. So this is a good time to sell, right? We're looking at the last 6 months of statistics. So if you look at those, the numbers were really strong.
Yeah.
Right.
One of the factors I put in there is multi-generational living. And so what does that really mean? What does multi-generational living mean? And why would that be a factor in deciding if somebody wants to move or not?
I don't understand. I understand your question, but I don't understand where we're going with it.
Just what I just asked.
So I think what you're asking is why would it, so two households combining essentially, right? So kind of like what Sam, myself, and Holly did.
Yeah.
You know,
so would you sell? Would you expand? What would you do?
Yeah. So I guess that would be a very personal question to the people involved in said transaction. Like the reason, and I'll just speak from personal experience, the reason that we decided to join our two households and become a multi-generational household, I guess, with the in-law was because when we were looking in the market for properties for Holly, so for condos and, you know, just what was out there and what would check all of her boxes, for us to build, it was a lot cheaper and she would get everything that she wanted while still being very close to us. She also did happen to break her leg and her arm in in the same year that we decided to do this. And we saw how difficult it would be had she not been living with us, and the care and I shouldn't say maintenance, but the care that it would have, the extra effort it would have taken on our part. Trying to put that very sensitively, but
yeah. So I would say, like, if let's just say your parents have, you know, that 4-bedroom colonial and they're thinking about right sizing down to something smaller, but you're in a position where you're in a smaller home and you're looking for something bigger, then maybe at that point you're saying to your parents or your parent or whoever it is, why don't we take your house, we buy your house, and then we put on the addition, which is the in-law where they would stay.
Yeah.
So then you have your multi-generational that way. So I actually talked to somebody about that
this weekend
recently. Yeah. About doing that. So again, it really does depend, you know, what you want to do. I always find that those situations are risky though, because for the parent, especially, like if the parent is putting all of their money into the investment of the in-law, and let's just say it's a younger couple, and what if they do get divorced? What if one of them does get another job and they have to relocate? Then everybody's
we could
relocating.
do a whole entire show on
100%.
that and the legalities of it as well.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. So I think that the first thing to think about is, what is your reasoning? Do you want to take advantage of the market? Is it a lifestyle change? Why now personally, as opposed to why waiting later personally? So it's also important to understand like the local market and why that, like what's going on. First step, hire a realtor.
Yeah.
We have a bunch of them. They're pretty great. But also understanding what some of the market trends are. So obviously price, style, location, condition of the home is going to be a factor in, you know, in whether or not you're going to sell now or what. So do you want to sort of go through the process of like, how do you get to the price? Why does the style matter? Well, does it matter through, you know, one season to the next? Where the location, does that matter from season to next? The condition of the home.
Yeah. So all of those are great. I mean, all those factors actually matter every single time you're putting a house on the market. So the conversation that I was having this morning with one of my clients is, you know, she has a condo and we were the listing agent. She purchased it with us. She's considering coming on the market and she's been talking about this for a while. And then she also has a place down in Florida. So she is basically a smart bird is what she calls it. Not a snowbird. She's a smart bird. So she's down there several months of the year. And she's in this position now where does she want to take advantage of the market, knowing exactly what it is right now? So that's one of the conversations I have with people is, well, I can tell you right now where I feel the value is. I have no idea. Now think about what we were saying last year. Now our clients over on Herringbrook, I did an analysis for them last year. This time it was August, right?
Yep.
End of August.
Yep.
They asked me what I think I should do. And I said, I think you should wait. I just felt like that was an election year. We didn't know what was going to end up happening, who was going to be president and anything else that was going to go on. So I felt, you know, you just never know which way the market is going to go. I feel the same way right now. I mean, with this administration that's in right now, right, wrong, and different, we're not getting into politics tonight, but they're talking about another $3.6 trillion stimulus package of some sort that's going to potentially be happening on top of the one that they just did. So where are they going to get that money back? Is it going to be by one, raising taxes? Yes. Small businesses are going to be affected. I'm going down a political road, but also, are they potentially going to have to rise, have a rise in interest, in rates for mortgages? Are they going to have to?
I mean, eventually I would presume they would have to.
Yeah.
Right now, I think they're still trying to encourage with low interest rates, they're still trying to encourage home ownership, and it's never been kind of greater than it has been right now. And the average age of the first time home buyer is drastically decreasing. So, I mean, in that sense, I think they're going to try and keep it low, but all repercussions will say it has to come back at some point, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's where you just don't know. So if the rates go up, then next year, let's just say the rates go up 1%. I was going to actually reach out to one of our loan officers. So if any of our loan officers are watching us tonight, please call in because we'd love to chat with you. 781-837-4900. I just wanted, one of the things is, if you're going to buy a house and it's $500,000 and you're at 3%, if the rate goes up to 4%, what's the difference in your mortgage payment? Because I don't feel that people aren't really looking at the price of the house. They're looking at their mortgage payment. So if they can afford less, then they're not going to purchase.
Yeah.
But back to your original question, when we are looking at what is the value of your house? We're looking at the last 6 months. So if you think about this, everybody in radio land, use your fingers. Okay. So 6 months back, that would be March, April, May, June, July, and August. Okay. So those were our 6 months that I'm looking back at. So March was, you know what? We still have low inventory. I don't think that's going away, but things weren't crazy. Then April came, we started seeing more houses coming on the market. Then it was the trickle effect of, I'll give you 20 over asking. I'll give you 25 over asking. I'll waive my home inspection. I'll give you 50 over. So that's when it started building in April. All right. So now those houses are going under agreement in April, but they're not selling until end of May or June.
Yep.
So those comps that I'm looking at, we're looking at sold properties. Those actually were selling in May and June. All right. So May, June, July, August, September, October, those are going to be really good comp months. So putting your house, and we say this every year, putting your house on the market in the fall and in the winter is not a bad thing, because when we already have low inventory and now you have even less inventory because people don't want to be bothered with, during the holidays, that's going to be when our numbers are the highest.
Yep.
Then we're going to start to see no more emotional bidding, right? And then the numbers potentially could start going down because of the winter months. So come April of next year, we're going to be looking at October, November, December, January, February, March.
Yep.
And the numbers might be lower.
So I think, I'm like eating up everything that you're saying over here, but I think not the misconception, but what a lot of people think is, okay, so we know that March and April of 2021 were that's when we started to see that craze. Granted, they were selling in May and June, but it was March, April, May, June. That was the craziest time frame that we really had. So who's to say that that's not going to happen again this year or next year? So 2022. And
honestly, I don't predict that it will. Our numbers are already high. So that all the numbers we're using right now are based on emotional value. So we were listing a house at 679 and somebody paid 857. So that's a sold comp.
Yeah.
So we're already at high numbers. So I noticed that today when I was doing an analysis, I was actually damn excited. Actually, it is somebody who is actually a DJ at WATD as well. Actually, I won't say any names or anything, but when I was looking at the numbers between the 3 months and the 6 months with him, and I was like, oh, this is why I look at this, and let me just see. And I was like, wow. So the 6 month shows me that, in this price range, the sale price to list price ratio was 104%. And the 3 month shows 102. So it means it went down. And the reason why it went down is because prices went up. So people aren't bidding over what that emotional price was. Am I making any sense? I need like a chalkboard.
No, you could teach a whole class.
I'm talking fast though.
You're talking a little fast,
Why are
but
we
because you
yellow?
get really excited about it. I agree with what you're saying. And actually what I was saying to a buyer that we have down in Plymouth, our property that's under agreement right now. We had a home inspection earlier. Do you agree that buyers have we had said it on multiple shows ago. We were like, if buyers could just take a step back and say, I'm not going to overbid. I'm not going to go excessively over asking, and they're the ones who are setting the tone for the market. Do you see that this is what's happening? The market, in my opinion, as a buyer's agent, it's completely shifted. I'm not competing against 15, 20 offers anymore. I'm competing against 3 to 5. And that's a huge swing. So where our buyers were having to potentially go $50,000 to $60,000 over asking, even greater in some instances, maybe it's 15 now.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of variables to that. A lot of different things happened. One was well, I think that there was some buyer remorse, by the way. I saw it with our own listings, right? Not our buyers, but I think that there was buyer fatigue. So a bunch of people dropped out. But I also think that because of that buyer fatigue, there was a big group of people that just said, you know what? I'm just going to renew my lease for a year. I'm not doing this. So those people are out of the game for a year, or maybe like 9 months, you know? So I feel that that's part of the reason why we're not seeing the multiple offers on things.
I agree with you. Absolutely. Sorry, we went.
That
We
might
went
not
off
be
on
good for anybody thinking about putting their house on the market. We're supposed to be talking about, do you want to sell now? But now, you might get less offers on your house. They might still be over. They might still be great offers.
But there's your catch-22, right?
Yeah.
So right now we have the 6-month comparables that Sharon's talking about. So we have the highest comparables that we're probably going to see for the rest of the year in comparison to what we'll see next year, because we're going into a slower period, right? But the buyers have kind of smartened up a little bit, and you might not be seeing the crazy offers over asking, but you'll still have a high comp.
Yeah.
So where you're not getting 41 offers like we got on 31 Herringbrook, you're still getting a high price based off of the comps.
Based on what Herringbrook sold for, right? So that's the other thing too is, yeah, I really love this topic. So
you are on fuego.
Yeah, I love this topic because it's really about the numbers and trying to figure them all out. And again, who knows what's going to happen? There's different things that are happening in the world. So I actually see that Ken McCormick says, hello, ladies, and hello to Ken. So Chief McCormick, and congratulations. Last night was his, the swearing in and the pinning. It was himself and Jim Shea as deputy. I know that there were other couple captains. I don't know their names, Ken. So if you're still listening, if you wouldn't mind just putting that in there. I think maybe there was some police in there too. So congratulations to everybody who got sworn in last night for the town of Pembroke. Congratulations to all of you. And thank you so much for all your service and everything that you do. Side note, want to tell what we had to do this weekend with Ken when we're all sitting at the beach and Melissa's oh no, I forgot.
Yeah, we were sitting at the beach on Saturday, living our best lives. And we're sitting there and we're looking and you just see all these American flags.
It was awesome.
And it just dawned on me, oh my gosh, we didn't put our flag. It was 9/11 on Saturday. So we didn't put our flag at half staff. So we texted Ken and just pleaded with him.
There wasn't much pleading. He was like, of course I'll
of
go
course
with
he always does it for us.
Yeah.
Even if we're still here, it's just we just love to see him. So
I know any excuse that we can see to see any of the,
but he was kind enough to come over and
and I don't know if it was him or if he sent one of the guys, but it was taken care of. So thank you for doing that for us, Ken. And then I was over here Sunday at the supermarket at Stop and Shop, and I saw it at half, and I was like, oh, I think I'm supposed to put that back up. And I was like, I'm not even sure I know how to do this. I've never really done it.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, we have Ken.
We have Ken. So
everybody needs a Ken.
Everyone needs a Ken. Yeah.
Yes. And he has a very lucky wife, Kim, and she is just as lovely, and everybody needs a Kim in their life too. So she is great. So back to our topic. You are listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable here with Boston Connect Real Estate Services and with McNamara Broker Team, Mary and Sharon, and along with Melissa, who is the everything for the office. She's the operations manager. She takes care of everybody around here. Who am I fooling? I do nothing. I do nothing.
That is not true.
And I noticed how short you guys are, and you took your shoes off, and I have heels on, but I've
I
been
have
running
flats on.
around all day in these heels. And if I took them off, I'm not going to lie, there might be a little odor in the room. So I'm going to save all of you from that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
Thankfully, we don't have smell-o-vision.
yeah, exactly. But if you have any
No,
questions
for
for us, we'd love to hear from you. Again, our topic tonight on our show is, do we put our house on the market now in the fall, or do we wait until the spring? What is the best option for us? But if you have another question for us dealing with real estate, we're happy to answer that one for you as well. 781-837-4900. George is in studio, or you can go on to our Facebook feed. We are live, Sharon Costa McNamara, or you can go to any of our Connect pages like Boston Connect, our McNamara broker team,
Yeah. McNamara Broker Team.
Pembroke
Boston
Connect,
Yeah.
Marshfield Connect, all those good Connect pages.
Yeah.
You can find us and just send "we're watching right now" so we can see if you have a question for us.
Yes. Do you have any questions? All right. Oh, hello.
Hi.
Hi. Hi. Who's?
We have
Yeah,
a
I think we have a
caller.
caller. George, did you get our caller's name?
No, I did not yet.
Okay. Well, hello. You're on air.
No, still working on it.
Hang up and try again.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll just continue on and maybe
Now your
George can get
operator.
our caller back. But
Yep.
yeah, so I feel like we've said it a million times, like any time is the right time to
Mhm.
sell. Like honestly, it's just really going to be dependent on your reasoning for wanting to sell.
Mhm.
So did you finish your thought on
Well,
that?
I'm
part?
just saying, now that I think it out further, and I was talking to my client, so I'm going to send this to her later, is, there is another condo that's going on the market near her, and I know what they're going on the market for. And I know that that's a higher number for what the comps are really at. So I don't think we're going to have much luck really, like pricing our homes with emotional value. So we saw a lot of people who were doing that because they saw how hot, quote unquote, the market was. I say stick to your comps, stick to your numbers, and let the buyers, and they did it this year. They were bidding over and over and over and over that number. So I guess my suggestion to people would be, if you want a sure thing, do it now. If you're willing to gamble a bit and see where the market brings us next year, where the rates are going, then wait until next year.
Well, that just made me think of like every time you guys have said like, oh, this would be so cute for you. You should like,
Yeah.
my response is, I'm not paying that price. Like,
Mhm.
I already know that then absolutely not.
Yep.
No.
Mhm.
So I'm a buyer that's bowing out. Goodbye.
Mhm.
Like, I'm just not gonna, do that. But there are plenty of other people that will. So, that might possibly be like the buyer's fatigue, where it's like,
Mhm.
you now aren't competing with 10 offers, 10, 15, 20 offers. You're competing with 3 or 4 other ones.
Mhm.
And still may go over, or it might just be at asking, and I'm seeing that lately. as being
Honestly,
at
I
asking.
personally think if you're a buyer right now, it's you probably haven't had a better opportunity than you're going to get
Yeah.
in this current market. If you were in
As a
it
buyer or seller?
as a buyer, I know the comps are higher, but the competition isn't as
Is
stiff.
less. Yeah.
It really isn't as stiff. You aren't competing as up against as many buyers.
So your chances of getting something are higher. It's just the price that
Mhm.
will be
So
higher as well.
So let me just use an example real quick, and I'll go quickly through it. But we met a buyer in February or March of last year, and we went through the whole first time home buyer package with them, and set the expectation of how insane it has been in past spring markets, and not even really truly realizing what this spring market was going to have underway for us. I think we submitted maybe, and they were trying their best every single time. They were going over asking, sometimes waiving home inspection, or doing home inspection for informational purposes only. Great buyers, great deposit, nothing to sell, great buyers. We put in 10 offers, didn't get one accepted. They kind of took themselves out of the running for the summer and said, hey, you know what? I just want to enjoy my summer. I want to go to Maine. I want to go to Vermont. I want to go fishing. I want to
Mhm.
do these other things. Came back just a couple of weeks ago, very first house that we looked at, they liked. We put in a strong offer, a little bit over asking, nothing excessive. We had a home inspection in there, and we were one of 3. and we got our offer accepted.
Yeah, that's another good point that I am seeing is I do feel that we are back to seeing people saying, no, I want my home inspection. Like I
Yeah.
deserve to have a home inspection. And like I said, I mean, we've been telling all of our clients, and I feel like our agents, you know, when we talk to them, it's, you know, yeah, we want you to sign a waiver if you decide you don't want to do that to get this house, but that's on you. Like it's just that whole, and again, I go back to what that market was for me. It was extremely reckless. It was
Mhm.
reckless, the
Mhm.
things that people were doing. So I just think, again, I go back to if you have someplace to go, then I think that you should do it now. I have no idea what's going to happen next year.
And I think, but that's true for every market. I mean,
100%.
everybody would love to predict where the market is going at any given point in time. We can predict that inventory will likely still stay low.
But we're getting a lot of calls right now. I mean, I went out on 2 CMAs today, and we had the other one, the staging one that we were doing today for pictures. So, I mean, and I know a lot of our agent, and we just talked, Kristen Howlett, another full-time agent. Little shout out to Kristen, who's in the other room right now. She's busy putting a listing in the MLS right now. So I feel like a lot of listings are starting to come back on the market. And I have a sense that Kristen is going to be very, very busy because she's going to be out there talking to all her clients and everything, because she sort of has a little bit of empty nest. She has one at home right now, but she does not know what to do with herself. So if you need someone to go to breakfast with, give Kristen a call.
I know. She's like, can we have half day Fridays? Like, no.
I'm all for half day Fridays.
Yeah. So not only do you have to decide, you know, what is your reasoning for selling, but it's like, what's your next move? Pun intended. Like, are you going to rent somewhere? Do you have family or friends to move in with? Are you going to purchase something? Because then you get into mortgage rates. You get into what's your criteria for moving? Is it a lateral move? Is it I was going to say downsizing, but we don't like to say that. Right sizing, you know, that type of thing.
Well, that
Or are you going to say something?
I was just going to say, one of the houses I went into today, the house is absolutely beautiful. I mean, if it sells, I mean, it's a smaller house, it's a cape, but like really well done. Like, you know what I mean? Just a lot of, you know, nice, like Anderson and Harvey windows and, you know, updated things, like just really nicely done. If they decide to go on the market, it is going to sell quite quickly. But then my question to him was, but where are you going to go? Like, you know what I mean? You took all this time in 15 years of living in this house to do everything that you wanted to do, to be where?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Is that going to be a lateral move? Is that what you want to do? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I think prospectively, you know, figuring out what your personal situation is, like, can you be a smart bird?
Yeah.
And can you take
I want
advantage
to find out
of
what's the smartest bird?
Because
Because then what's the smartest bird?
Why you looking at me? Big Bird.
I'm gonna
He
Google it.
talks.
Go ahead, Mary.
He talks.
I'm
I mean, of
Googling
course
it.
he's the smartest.
Big yellow bird. So if you think about it from the perspective, the smartest time for, you know, you to sell, if you have that opportunity, if you have somewhere to go, is going to be at the height of the market and to take advantage of. But if you're somebody who potentially has nowhere to go or is looking for something in a similar area, if you sell high, what are you going to do? You're going to buy high. So it kind of evens out. And same thing, if the market starts to come down and you sell and it's coming down, when you buy, it's going to be coming down.
Yeah.
So
I have a really good analogy as you're talking about this. So do either one of you mind me sharing with WATD that you both got seasick and threw up on the boat on Sunday on the way home?
Well, I guess it's too late.
Oh, okay. So let me just talk about that for a minute. So we're on our way back from Oak Bluffs and we hit some high seas. And when Captain Mark says we're leaving, he meant it. I mean, he was like, I want to leave. I want to leave. Because at first he said, I want to be out of there by 11. Then it was 10 and then it was 9:30. And honestly, we should have left at 7. But anyways, we hit some high seas. They told us that we would be in 3 to 5s. And yeah, those were more like 5 to 7s with occasional 8s. I looked over at Melissa one time when we hit a wave so bad. We came out of the seat and I looked at her and she was like, white, pure.
I just honestly, it's because like my
Pure
favorite movie
horror.
is Titanic, and I was just thinking like, oh my gosh, like
Where's
we're
the
gonna
life raft?
capsize. Like we're going down. Like we're going down. I got out of my seat and I crashed down. And I was like, the only thing that kept me from flying off this boat was the little table in front of me with my leg under it. Like I was gonna fly off. Fly off in the wind. I was so scared.
Literally pure white. And I go, get up at the helm. And you're like,
I can't move. I can't move. I'll
I was
never
like-
make it.
then we had another one. I go, get up there now. You're going. So she's like, okay. So
I held on for dear life.
So as Mary and Melissa proceeded to puke on our ride home, and I have video of it. I should put it up so everyone can watch it.
Not
And-
of the incident.
no,
of
not
the
of that
way
incident.
to
But
go.
you can see me videoing and you hear Mark, you can hear the bell going, right? And then you can hear Mark say, hold on. And I come out of my seat again. I'm like videoing the floor. So I said to Mark yesterday, he was looking at the video. I go, I absolutely 100% know why they make you wear a seatbelt at all times now when you're in an airplane because of turbulence.
Yeah,
I know why now.
there's no seatbelts on that boat.
Yeah, and then when Mark thought I would get rid of the throw up bucket, I was like, you're kidding me right now, right? So that's not happening. But anyways, here's my good analogy.
I was gonna say.
So you guys are at the front of the boat and I'm like, don't look what's coming at you because you're not going to like that at all when you see a wave bigger than the bow of the boat. But I'm looking at the back and the waves, I can see them building and building. And especially when we got into Buzzards Bay, right? So I'm watching these things build and I was like, oh my God. And then you guys could feel it. So the feeling I don't like is when you sort of catch a wave, so to
Mhm.
speak, right? And I feel like we're surfing.
Mm.
So the bow of the boat is up high and I was in the back of the boat. So I'm down low.
In the ocean. it
Yeah,
felt like.
well, no,
Like
well-
the sea was parting and we were in the middle of it.
The
That's what it looked
inflatable,
like.
the inflatable was touching.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? So as we're going up, that's when you want to sort of catch things, right? As they're going up. What you don't want, what's never good, is when you get to that top and sometimes it doesn't go down slowly. It just slams down. And that's when you come out of your seat. So that's what you don't want to
And the
happen in
bell
real
rings.
estate. And the bell's ringing.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
If anybody wants to see the video of what we went through,
I will put it on my Facebook page. So again, but again, I'm not sure, George, were we able to get our caller?
No, not yet. There's some technical issues.
Oh, okay. So let's just have our caller. If you want to call Melissa's phone, we can put you on our microphone here so we can let everyone listen to that. So Melissa, do you want to give your phone number to WATD land?
Sure.
I would give you mine, but I don't know where my phone is.
Yeah, sure. My phone number is 781-534-1921.
Okay, perfect.
So give me a call.
Yeah. My phone is out there too. So my phone number is pretty easy. 781-294-4848, 781-294-4848. You can send us a text, give us a call. We'll find our way to get you on there right now, but I don't have my ringer on.
My mom's listening. I didn't tell her that we got sick. She texted me, my poor baby.
Someone's calling.
Oh, what's that?
Someone is calling you. Yeah. So we only have about 10 minutes left of the show, but Mary, so we're sort of getting into the fall season.
Perfect. Hold on. We're just having some technical issues over at the studio, but so can you tell us what your name is?
Barbara.
Hi, Barbara. Well, thank you for joining us. So what was your question for us or your input?
So I'm a buyer. I just bought myself.
Okay.
But I've been looking for almost 3 years. It took me really the last year. Again, I was one of those people that I took an apartment for a year to try to find something because it was so bad. But then as I was looking in the past year, it was very frustrating. We felt that the realtors, no offense to you at all, I don't mean this in a negative way, but we felt that the realtors were the ones creating the
Promotion.
the competition.
Yeah.
We felt that, well, the realtors were telling their sellers, look, we're going to just have you, they're going to have their bids in one day. I mean, to make a decision in one day on a house, to not even be able to look at it twice, it was a nightmare. And then you put in an offer, right, over and above, but it wasn't cash. You're a great buyer. You've got 20% down. You know, you have excellent credit, not good credit, excellent credit, but somebody comes along with cash.
Mhm.
So, I mean, house after house after house. All my friends told me the same thing. They were going through the same thing. So we thought the seller realtors were creating that chaos.
Nope, it was the buyers. So what ended up happening with that is, so we list a house and again, we 100% agree with you because it was extremely frustrating for us as buyers agents and all of the agents at Boston Connect. We were having Zoom meetings about it all the time, not being able to get our buyers in, not being able, having such a short time frame to get in the offers. The way that we were doing it here was that we would put a house on the market on a Wednesday, allow showings all week, let people have the open house, and then have offers in by Monday night or Tuesday morning. So it gave people plenty of time to come back. We never rushed anybody through open houses or anything. So I'm really sorry that happened to you. And,
Yeah,
and
that
it
was-
shouldn't have.
That was your agency, but there were
Yeah.
other tons of agencies out there, making
Yep.
sure they only one day.
Exactly. And it
Yeah.
definitely was not fair and it was extremely stressful. So for us, what we were seeing is, as the listing agent, again, I'm looking at, okay, let's just say 3 capes. They all sold in the last 6 months for $500,000. And then I say to my client, all right, your house is worth $500,000 because these are the ones sold. So we put that on the market. And just like you said is exactly what happened. So now there's no inventory. 10 people want to buy it. The first person says, all right, I'm going to give you 500, but it's going to be cash. The next person said, I don't have cash. I'll give you 525. Next person said, I don't have cash, but I'll give you 550 and I'll waive my home inspection. Then people were like, all right, I'll give you 575 and I'll waive my home inspection and my mortgage contingency. It was completely reckless, but that was all driven by the buyers and their emotional input to that. And we were trying to slow it down. I was so sick about it, Barbara. I actually got shingles in July.
Oh, God.
Yeah, because I'm a listing agent and I'm watching all this and I get 40 offers on a house that's on the market for $679 and someone gives me an offer for $900.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm like, what are these people doing? But everybody got very desperate. And it was one of those things. I saw people with their parents were emptying out 6 bank accounts to give their kids cash. So it was just crazy. And we're hopeful that is going to slow down. We tried to slow that down.
I'm
Well,
very
because we're all going to be upside down again is what's going to happen. Everybody's going to be upside down in their mortgages, right?
Well, I mean, that depends. I mean, so it matters like how much of your equity, I don't know if you came from another place and you put all your equity into your next home, or if you took some of that equity and put it into investments, everything really does depend.
No, I put it all into the home. I have investments, so I didn't need to put it into
Yeah.
investments.
Yeah. So
But I wanted to put it into the next home because I don't want my mortgage to be so high.
exactly. Yes. So that's what a lot of people were doing. And I'm working with a client right now. She just happens to be my best friend and one of my best friends. And she was going to put all her equity from selling her house in Dorchester to the house she's buying in Abington. And I was like, why would you do that? I was like, she's young, you know what I mean? I was like, there's divorce, death, and disability. If anything happens to your spouse, and the market drops, all your equity's in that house. That's the difference. It's real money for the buyers versus the bank's money, where people were just walking away in 2010.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I hope you're happy in your home now. And at the end, everything happens for a reason.
I'm very excited about it. I'm positive I paid too much, but I come from the generation where you spent, my parents spent $10,000 on a 14-room colonial with ocean views.
Yep.
And, and condos on the beach were $60,000,
Yeah.
So it's very hard for people from my generation to look at these prices and not want it to cause you heart failure.
And we feel the same way, Barbara, by the way. I mean, here's for me, one of the things that I'm thinking about now in 2 years, everybody's assessments are going to go up based on this behavior because the taxes, right? So the assessors are looking at 2-year prior sold properties. Now, that 3-bedroom Cape in Pembroke that just sold for $857. Now my house is valued like $550. Well, guess what? It's going to, my assessment's going up. So it was it was reckless. It was, and I hated your story about I'm telling you, my agents were calling me saying, you need to call some of these managers. You need to call these brokers because we can't get in to see the house and it's already under agreement. It was terrible.
Right, it was terrible. But you guys are great. I'm so enjoying your show.
Well, thank you.
It's nice to know there are some good ethical people out there.
Well, good. Well, you give everybody you know our name.
I will for sure.
All right. Well, I'm glad that we figured out a way to get you through. And I hope you listen every week. You can listen to our podcast as well, to our last shows. It's Talk Real Estate Roundtable.
Thanks so much. It was great talking with you.
Nice talking to you too.
Have a nice night, Barbara.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Nice.
That was nice. Yeah.
That was nice. And just her exact experience was exactly what we were talking about on previous shows. I mean, where we were literally begging. I think we had some local brokers even call in saying like, stop the madness.
Yeah. Stop it.
Stop it right
Stop the
now.
madness. We're getting Kristen
All right.
set up because she's going to promote her new listing. But final thoughts on this topic? Maybe we can continue it a little bit next week, or you sort of get into really should you sell now or sell later? But any final thoughts before Kristen? Hi, Kristen.
I just, you know what? I just still go back to everybody's situation is different. So knowing where you are in order to best plan to where you want to go, start the process now. So even if you know where you are right now, one of the things that we do is if you decide that you don't want to come on the market right now and you want to wait until next spring, well, every month we'll do an analysis for you, letting you know which way the market is going. So that way there you can make an informed decision on what's best for you and your time in your life at this moment. And we're happy to help you do that. So Kristen, why don't you introduce our one? We've been talking about Kristen all night. Have you heard us? We've been trying to get you into the room. Can you? Yeah, well, you can bring it down. Yep.
Yes. So Kristen Howlett is a full-time realtor here at Boston Connect Real Estate. She is one of the best, and she's been on our show before. Remember that solo show we did together? We've done.
When I was in a tornado. Yeah.
Yeah. So Kristen, do you want to give our listeners a little sneak peek of your new listing coming on the market?
Sure. Coming on tomorrow. It is I don't even know. It's a 3-bedroom, 2 family rooms, manufactured 55 plus home in Pine Hill and Rainham.
Oh,
It's adorable. It's beautiful. Brand new kitchen, beautifully updated, gorgeous sunsetter.
Where is it?
Awning, Rainham. Pine,
Okay.
Pine Hill. So 55 plus in Rainham, Pine Hill. If anybody knows where the big, huge temple is, there's like a big Buddhist temple.
Oh, I know exactly
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
It's like a Thai Buddhist temple. It's right near there. And this is in the newer section. There's an older section. There's a newer section. It's going on for mid-3s. Very
Perfect.
desirable.
I just
It's
saw
great.
pictures that looks gorgeous.
Yeah, it's you know what? It's perfect. It really is.
Awesome. We'll give your phone number to everybody so they can get in touch with you if they have any interest in this property.
617-448-4896.
One more time.
617-448-4896.
And you can always call us at the office at 781-826-8000. You'll get Miss Melissa on the phone and she'll certainly be able to get you right over to Kristen. So thank you for joining us for our last seconds here. Thank you to all our WATD listeners for listening in. And Mel, you want to tell everybody real quick how they can find our past shows?
TalkRealEstateRoundtable.com.
We'll see you guys next week. Bye, everybody. Bye, George.
Yeah.
WATD FM Marshfield, WMEX Quincy, WPMS Brockton, and translator W266TA Brockton. The South Shore's first choice for live team coverage of breaking news, emergency traffic, and severe weather. WATD. Streaming online at 959WATD.com. And with your smart speaker, just by saying play WATD.
This is Steve Futterman in Los Angeles. Voters who have not already taken part in mail-in voting or early voting have been flocking to the polls today. These voters against the recall, but not very fervent in their positions.
I'm hoping he doesn't get removed, but I understand people why they're upset.
I don't like the other options. I also don't like Gavin Newsom, so I'd rather wait till the proper election time.
Voters are being asked 2 questions. First, should Gavin Newsom be recalled as governor? Then, if he's removed, who should replace him? The leading candidate among the possible replacements is conservative radio talk show host Larry Elder.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken was back before Congress today answering questions about the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan.
Based on what we were looking at real time, we did not see this collapse in a matter of 11 days. But I think it is important that we go back and look at all of this.
The top two members of the Senate committee, one Democrat, the other Republican, assailed the withdrawal as a failure in their opening remarks. Tropical storm Nicholas slowed to a crawl near Houston after making landfall as a Cat 1 hurricane overnight. CBS's Jason Allen in Texas.
Forecasters say there is the potential for even more flooding because Nicholas is slowing and could stall at some point. Houston's mayor says the city should be back to normal by tomorrow.
This storm could have been a lot worse.